Haiku is a fantastic open source operating system that acts as a revival of the old BOS operating system. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to install it on your machine, right now, on the Linux Lounge. So in order to install Haiku, you first need the machine that you want to install Haiku on. Make sure that you back up all your data though, because although it's possible to dual boot Haiku, there is always the risk of losing data when you go messing around on your machine. It's also more complicated to set up a dual boot, so for this guide I'm going to assume that you have a machine that you just want Haiku on. So as such, you will lose all the data on that machine if you don't back it up. It's also worth pointing out that Haiku has fairly limited hardware support as compared to Linux or even BSD, so there's no guarantee that your machine will even support Haiku, but it is still worth trying out. Usually I tend to have better luck with older machines, so I would probably start there. So with that said, onto the install guide. First, you're going to need a USB stick that you're okay with formatting in order to install Haiku. Next, you're going to need to download the Haiku ISO and a program called Etcher. You can download the Haiku ISO from the Haiku website, which is haiku-os.org. Once you're on the website, simply click the Download It Now button, and you'll then be presented with a list of mirrors which you can download Haiku from. Simply select the ISO that corresponds to the location closest to you and your computer's architecture. So for me, I decided to opt for the Amsterdam mirror with the 64-bit ISO. If you're unsure about whether to select the 32-bit or 64-bit ISO, then I would probably opt for the 64-bit ISO, since most computers made within the past 10 years are 64-bit. Although, if you want compatibility with legacy BOS software, then you'll need to select the 32-bit ISO regardless of your computer's CPU architecture. Once you have the Haiku ISO, you need to install a program called Etcher. Or really, you can use any program that you're comfortable with in order to write the ISO, but I would recommend Etcher. You can get Etcher from balena.io/etcher. Once you have the program installed, you're ready to write Haiku to your USB. So insert your USB stick and then proceed to the next step. Next, once you have Etcher installed and you open it up, you should see something like this. First, go ahead and click Flash from File, and then navigate to the directory where you downloaded your Haiku ISO, and go ahead and select it. Then, go ahead and select Target, and click your USB drive. Be careful not to click any other devices, because they will be formatted. Once we've selected our USB drive, go ahead and click Select again, and then go ahead and select Flash. It should then begin flashing your USB device with the Haiku ISO. It might ask for your password, and if it does, go ahead and enter your password. And then you go ahead and wait. This shouldn't take very long at all because the Haiku ISO is quite small. And there we go, the flash has finished. So the next step is to plug the USB into the computer that you intend to install Haiku on, and go ahead and boot from the USB. So we'll be back after we've booted from the USB. So unfortunately, for this next step, I can't offer very much guidance, as the method of entering the BIOS and booting from USB devices are different on every computer. But basically what you have to do here is enter your BIOS, select legacy boot mode if it's available, and then boot from your Haiku USB. So I have my ThinkPad X230 here, so I'm going to show you how to do that on this device. First, obviously make sure your USB is inserted, and then go ahead and turn the computer on, and then press the F1 key. On other computers it might be F2, F12, something like that. But essentially what you want to do is enter the BIOS. Once you're here, go ahead and go over to Startup, and then go ahead and switch UEFI/Legacy Boot to Legacy only. Now I believe that Haiku does have some support for UEFI, but it's not as good as the support for Legacy. And you will have to do this on most modern machines, as UEFI has been a thing for quite some time now. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and change the boot order, so this machine will boot from the USB first. As you can see, there's our USB stick with Haiku on it. And as you can see, now it's at the top of the boot priority order. If you don't want to change your boot priority order, most machines do also have an option to select a one-off boot device, so that might be preferable. And then we can go ahead and save our changes, and our machine should boot from the Haiku device and boot into Haiku. And as you can see, Haiku is now booting on our machine. And here we go, now Haiku is booted, we can start the installation process. And here we are in the Haiku installer. From here you have the option to either try out Haiku and see if you like it, also to see if your hardware works and that sort of thing, or install it. In today's video we're going to go ahead and just install it. So first, select your language and key map, and then go ahead and click Install Haiku. Go ahead and read through this, click Continue. Now here, it should tell you that your partitions aren't set up, but ours are already set up, but I am going to go ahead and show you how you would set them up. So go ahead and click Set Up Partitions. Go ahead and right click the drive that you want to install Haiku on. In this case, we're going to use this QEMU hard disk. Right click it, hover over Format, and click B File System. Go ahead and click Continue. This is where you will lose any data on the drive. Click Format, click Write Changes, and then go ahead and exit out of Drive Setup. From here, go ahead and select Please Choose Target, and click the drive you want to install Haiku on. Then go ahead and click Begin. At this point, Haiku is installing. This should be very quick. And there we go, Haiku has finished installing, so now all we need to do is click Restart and our machine should restart into Haiku. And here we are in our finished install of Haiku. Now you could stop watching the video at this point and get on with using Haiku, but I would recommend that after you install any operating system, the first thing that you should do is run updates. So to do that, go up to this feather menu up here, click on it, go down to Applications, and then go ahead and select Software Updater, at which point Haiku will check for updates. And there we go, Haiku has checked for updates, and as you can see, we have quite a few updates for us to install. So go ahead and click Update Now, and Haiku will run updates. And there we go, the updates have finished installing. Now it did take a little while to do this, but not too long. So just leave your computer to install the update and it'll do its thing. So from here, go ahead and click Reboot, and now you really are ready to use your full Haiku install. And there we go, there's our Haiku installed, updated and ready to go. For your next step, I recommend that you take a look at the Haiku Depot. This is where you install packages from, and I really do recommend that you just go through the features packages and install anything that looks interesting to you, because there are some brilliant software packages available on Haiku. But that's it for this guide. So I hope you found this guide useful, I thank you for watching it, and I will see you in the next one.